Omran Msula, Gotrule Dungutel Le Bodo Susrai Budul, Maraklai, Marabul Belau, Bilum Biraklai, Marmasil Belau, President Hokons Paules, Maragul Senator, Speaker Anastasio, Maragul Delegates, Chief Justice Niraigalau, Pekel Justices, Governors, Lators, Togubets El Susirgid, El Morar Bekel Adre Bela, Mara Ablurangaya, El Mora Hocharigi, Marakler Ablur Belau. Egida angartera el tutal mal marud el los el tirgal ukomgeda pastor Nestor direct matial tirgal adra media lo banged man malul tutal mora a Mr. Gasole Mr. Clay Mr. Solado ngirudol sang ma Mr. Metet Christine Olgori Romalmo Misura al-Mosil join il-gidra l-tutaw kida għartella bungela Vice President il-mgħatatal dibus il-mlanija għuru l-blarnija familinjien di kida mral t-marmu da mral suladjo sinselu kom għidra dirigla mungeda Minister Victor, Minister Obia amtera Ministera Helda Director Share dirigla Chief of Staff كده دي صدر رئيس كده تتقدم لنا education conference أكمل مله مستر وصول أكمل دلوقتي أكمل أوريد المسير press conference أكمل مستر أولودون الماء إنه ده قتل هذا المسير اللي تتان دي hopefully an excel press conference ومسير join رجيت كده مال ديريغ الأكمل سل educational conference you know one of the things that I said is, you know, we gira del hotel value sensei. Etial sensei toa hotel toa letia degal letinga da shaba le da mun me baroringi. The sensei are the most respected. Tel title sensei is a term of respect. Mbral gira del we have to lift our teachers up and hold them in that respect. Continue mru la gira rogul el toa Al-Milisir, our sensei, give them the training, the tools, and everything that they need to be successful teachers, but most importantly, to lift our children up. Makmleshira wana aldadu labantri. Minister Obia. Tiarda dala ebegew. Ebegew modaling na dibu sira dong ledra se selbu ramla memo ding gemle educatore adra media fantastic. Dingannya tokol dilinga o Israel da dula tam rangaramong tam rasyaban erwang ngirgut tilinga nga school ngal ruba nga school nga school ngal sensea ma mga dur ngi ase elakad mom subaur makmoger ager ngal sensea amomul mga se 1+1 tilang ngirgut tilinga malembre do si man 1 Ay, mga sensei wadi o mitra aptul ang namutel oger 2+, dirigara 2+2 nga sing 1 mal alutel oger nga se 5+5 ngin iru trigal mutro others 1 mga sensei sel timing dirigal bonega lara child abuse mga sensei mlangwa askar sel dorte mral budul ngir gutiling masih gaung ngaram sel tal guger hager kati oldar sel tal ngaram diwan masih dia ngamlara abai ngani meeting ram oang oreng sera ngaru bakal madadu lo ais luasya ablur nge sara amar tol blu adang ngar sul mor ngar weekle pwede le email dar tel adangari ningira del lo docchiare tial blul di motang maral menga surar sensen maral working in unity el magal el goit tirang gadal moko el ngira el waise menga sulir maral gira del el waise ra gal beqal dorul li make sure ada otra al serroy dirigale eli emle July 9 of course kadamna celebrate the constitution dergi the you know tedim la kodoli aktim lo tabangar eli lo ase gidamle secure constitution gidra July 9 1979 kasi tiang di constitution ang iwala dang koramlo ya secure adang iwala direct July 9 Hindi angora mal it's interesting that it's July 9 79 we continue to celebrate it today hindi kadamral ngal tangat al 8 trial milu sra watamel alla rablur belawa adirgo magedre al sils ngaria chanson toribio ngaria haru wilter ngaria Joshua Koshiba ngaria fonang rungurbai masayugi adal albay report kasad Laurentino Long Pastor Billy Cuarte Maharu Mariano Carlos of course triga amla makloro ba kamarmas ma eli kadolingita se medrele ko adi el program el anor tire ok mastriate al mem gadaw story so we called it breakfast with the framers we had it at Yokohama agora ul gadrele at Yokohama ma gumra lo asen ngadi imol restaurant rebelal adrigo shishan klel edriga sera temla framers sera temla la mlari edriga ngari en berela so gora that was kind of the iconic side of the active besa building amla change table change kateng like our constitution ndi ndriga mal mol server gida rebelal merela mang telo to mela la argida kadamal ngal tangatle you know tamsadri ele waseng it was a special time el maral al del belam lot mag tamam mashar tir and sharing those stories so agim la asker tir mtaginin wasa igel bla lul sadal toy aw sayad al motel vai so you'll see it later on la gumra umda say it's always good to have them share kadi mi imagine already rum kada Andriga wa Benjamin Franklin said most stories there are Benjamin Franklins you know Thomas Jefferson and I think you know I either medal that we still have with them getting that opportunity to interview them and talk to them was really special among the maral di merang asulir I sell mleo singir ida malomra sigida amral ngal tangat albululeng qado dios albulu and I think that's the leadership maul kada ukno sa edal kut makla umra lo aseng ngungil tamelalla al maral al mit igel principles and values that we all share we believe in freedom democracy and of course rule of law but most importantly the opportunity for everybody el kirablu wilarandir ngarablu el mimokl tarayel el mimokriya ate qablu rablu del 20,000 ara adriya way si disra adram diare that's a second tant that's a blessing agumran na sing mal wil toy togirang gado ase engaling irmang nga Moses hindi mas ka harta mo kasi hindi seklang altangatan wil toy ayga partara sing stone sharpen stone or daga oka obora masasa sa adela kadamilyo trinya yamom dare mom sisi magi kada kay nga sendi at the end of the day amoktegarida you know it's a democratic society that encourages will and openness and accountability and that's and we have a constitution that protects you we should celebrate that the Moisa sekana elium le wal first there's a regular session mang kada tiamom for the supplemental request el doval third el descending more olbira galulaw kida amdayin lo sing tara será el top sel supplemental tara aerial wal tigim le olmasong sa ngesul morngi hospital augurul cloud to al ngari enough el budget whether ang iladir ang next year and make sure instead of hire trigel critical الامبلويز اللي قد أسبير تيرا public health النيرسز البروفايد بتقول سيرفيسز اللي قد أسبير من الموتر درسيلمون موتر نتراتيلا دربيلا سيغام موتر موسوبي دو مسرا especially hospitali ngari baby ngar alsel الدريغ blood vessel saying hospitalians for example I get field trip mora I get migrar el blue need money because nila sara lalu and they don't have quite enough money to finish I get field trip for them this year so دريغ la kadangara wa I get outlying states and one of their issues so although that some other mosmere lo tartin hospital so let's have some money to help them like among you know government ريدا government تكرر آدم جيد المسائل مالسونس مناسم المكتمل سيملورا أولبير إلي لما say healthy people means healthy pala MCC SMC agizari so lastly هذا دريغ اللي له ضوض الجيرال سيل بس الريد كروس building that's finishing up sorry moving to it كلو توتر اللي تياسل بس الويرهاوس التير مع training facility تير أمرورين government رشيابلا من قدرة building مقدر عمره they spend almost 500,000 المرورين من كلو توتر كذا ذلا إما ذلا تيال الريد كروس هذا قال سور برادر شيابال سور برجيدا أدر بيلو and we have to put in our part to help partir man yitra red cross of course after selimra supplemental man qadar yitra se make sure ان غادي يعوضوا المهر partir دريغ غادي قال بيبيرا important agencies los peagueso lo FIU that's the financial intelligence unit the financial institutions commission foreign investment board obviously SP ترى ضدانيا نموذج هذا هاي SP إن ديناريو تلو ضد من قدمنا سوريا ضروري بين لا increase رباجة أمين على أورجيد increase salary so we need the money now to pay engage the Adam but part of transparency and accountability that's why it's important to have engage the office دريغ اللي نالي أساس الوضوء الملوني تلقي المورا Bureau of Land and Survey التيرا نالي أجل project التيرا جيل قط مخل جيل لعنgar لهم مرر ما بليليو دريغ ترى صدلو هاي سرية apart سيل supplemental مؤمن درسل هلون ملدار ترتلا لول تبديا رادرو البي للمهل برتريال تيرا والشوباي الميل تمالا يل بيزنس تيرا during COVID mainly help pertil cover يل interest ما penalties so amle proposal ara NDP people me I say there's about 1 million in interest and penalties el gira del sum godome se gira del help NDP bill sum oklo the NDP by me suggest ra say since teludo da 600,000 and we can help by amendra language el helper trial other rogoy NDP ang ngarial bolang mo supplemented TL 600,000 it helps more people and helps I think it's about 54 different businesses the alert ngaria other businesses that would qualify the same impact adra hatogora COVID so sengar al say lastly elal gabsing kadam mol maigal state visit sirgida elal gabsing ra 6 p.m. ngari a meeting ergidra core state constitutional hall invite ra bek other orior bol say del other care orior tadi other orior to bek other care ablur orior other orior other المهم اللوكل government ergid ko tutra ngari open discussion media of course and agar but the community also needs to be able to engage lastly sell Taiwan Palau small grants program so otherwise was saying namo qatmoq already accept the application sell grants officer gida qatmoq المملا application say small grants up to 10,000 of course, available on the Palau government website, but at the same time, in the other morsel office, ng rulmut al grants office, then wartira 767-3105. Ang qadim na siya dalo ay sa yigide, and then the real update dito kasi nga tablo lang mlo dan maralme. First amo next week, the mo attend the cell Palm, the cell Pacific leaders from Gelablura Shabal. Next week era July 16 to 18. Ya di regal July 29. Kada mo wala kada top da July 26. Hindi kada mo Jamaica mo attend the cell International Seabed Mining Authority meeting. Kaya dam dengan wase Mark Odob el momingi sertial Albertakla. Kador marasen kloto tela as leaders kadok mo sa del mong at a higher level el mo otis el opposition rigid e olitra moratorium bersal mong il subi le tial davo ade gadil tabela gel sesel blue el ngila claimer tial international waters the better rogul dos peni ye tial ola samal mo mi sringa ade ngal sela karen sela ngidil blue ngara international waters gal tuna man mo tiang everybody is impacted so mo sulang na te alle by to pena hablar gire la guerra mañana hare pasate ala vice president by do ser ora al pone aquí mañana adam so maybe you can share our activities at ministry of justice ma update sulang
malugito tayo Mr. President ministers Minister Victor Minister Obiang Director Share, chief of staff, miracle members sa media, alang artiyang. Ako maral makataktibo sa Mr. President, marenga sulira arokol at rabalul, rang lungu iyo, maulusuy, kirek nga kamacherom, ngara Taiwan, ngara kurul, thankfully, Saula McKay Memorial Hospital, ngara Taiwan, yung musta Elmira, Indra Alman del July 31. So, malmere nga sulir bekla adarokoy. Dire kan malmere nga sulila President, marokoy members sa cabinet, ay kalmlo marekal many weeks that I was not here. I was absent among tirami lamol lagi especially state visit sa mora ablu maktira kal malog yuteng ranga sulela acting director tamtik ng bloko Attorney General Ernestine Ringil ayel rureril mo sabi el mo ay sra ay kalmla mamrekal state visits biko saktira kal mal ko am katatal tibo sakso kalme kukura di update ra Auriora Ministry of Justice. Ngsual law ay sal malblakatakal malkol wasegel kukatril state visit sa mlosobe kan morning lekmle arrive at July 1. Adiri kal mal mle ngariya issues sal gire la adrak sa alsilegal communities. Especially kay gidal dom katong mong ice sal ngiya crystal methamphetamine. Era kulmul medik tulwa sentira kalgira damla moklakar kalgira la fentanyl. Fentanyl alkom la mera kwam. Fentanyl is deadly. Toka kayo del case sa Blado Westra ay kitele outside ang Amerikel mal toka our victims kay del spela fentanyl. So akso kalo ay selwa se kuk ngara obisra ay kitele Attorney General. En malamol maudior I want to say was auriora malamol. In fact, I just received information this morning. Alwase nga niya 1.2 pounds of crystal methyl blel pastniya sa ibal. Alulia ka UPS. Almlara alsela Bluetooth speaker. Mang the point ko so kalbal makatakya say tiyang ang siya dalwas yung pandemic rabalol agaro gida didiol malol lakartya gidi si sabalela kagidam kitalkan into our borders ma Akbil nga tatur Attorney General, and one of the concerns that have been raised at press conference, are prosecutors, il bring a cases in mora korta. TL criminal prosecutors, especially TL dealing with prosecution drugs trafficking. Munguluay sa nakalwasay, she's been successfully mangmalmsal ol binakalulaw, la increase sa budget, mangmusabe edal attract our prosecutors and merbelaw mang uluay sa nakalwasay nga 10 people who are interested mong wow, mang namoriar adal interested na apply ang aramong ng malmle mringergida attractor adan may riora balur belaw. Aktinakal suakal lolol ta bebira statistics regel ko case el sabi el more obvious ra Attorney General. So sil year 22 mlaniya ay gagidale 14 report from cases from the police that were received their obvious ra Attorney General. Ang ani ako makalomso there and I'll say it here lenglo sabi el maskak. So 7 were declined, and those are prosecutorial discretion Attorney General o Mr. Nyo say diakal sufficient evidence al ubang niya issues with it man diakal proceed in my prosecution. Mlaria 4 convictions. That means that the it'll file a 4 cases and then ngila convictions, successfully convicted those cases. Mlaria tulmle dismissed. One defendant was acquitted. Sales statistics for 2023: 16 reports I'll receive Office Attorney General. 12 of them directly decline of AGIL prosecute. Gagidale 4 convictions amilangay. Say gidira 2023. LL 2024, 7 reports have been received by the Attorney General. 3 have been convicted, 2 dismissed, there are 2 pending cases. Magigidagits that most of Mar Office Attorney General. Again with while kura meset luaseng malamolo maurior en dirikal mo sabi kang maya gigidil luguk while cases ra from the narcotics or enforcement unit under the Division of Transnational Crime. Mga report luas at year 2022 mle 22 cases sertir mlaniya gagidil dirikal mo sa el prosecuted way gagidil statistics ra AG tilo with the 27 cases ra 2023 el 2024 yung mla mo niya 14 cases that have been investigation. So nga niya gel wal ko cases lorior. Some of them prosecuted gel pending investigation ra any at the NEU may gel ko more Office Attorney General. Actually because nga niya informational thing I recently about execution search warrants. Ela al time most moving away from the CI, confidential informant that by while receive information. That's why ang important the report matkalek ta intel, and then with that ito ni trakor to was mebas kamama a search warrant ang bolso ba amal execute ni tagi de lobli legi umarang at mulwase nga tol traway kagi dele ay sa malubeng nga niya marijuana malubeng based on information na lolabing well yung musabi iral kut maklisay mensyakal report tol was sera 2020 emle 7 na total al search warrants sa lulal toba da Palau Supreme Court. Now, tadital police has to be execute a search warrant. I mean, it has to be a law enforcement. Ma 2021 only 15 a search warrant so we know at least 15 12 months at least once a month ang niya executioner search warrant. 2022 only 8. 2023 last year only 12. Ilang 7 or ilal 2024 and we're mid year. So kita tial lurior atraksa we follow up tokol agencies are involved manggira dal maestria nga border because it's a known fact, true fact. Ay kaya the producer al sablo belaw diga kabol sa edel marula crystal methamphetamine al sablo belaw bula saying it's coming through seaport, airport, post office. Manggigida gira del concentrate among gira del misra other customs sel kukuryo border management lolwaseng makara adol nga sew el monitor malaka belsis al sabalur belaw and then once el kuk plalsis etegi der police get ro komestil waseng na mosbe ngaria intel information that they can use and most of it al execute a search warrant ng may gigidi al klalo and then nguk ma package ringi engirel more office attorney general for prosecution so it's a at least ang ania tril trang tingin so I want to say was saying sel recent execution search warrant al milgat mokla while I was in Taiwan mo kamla ring season based the reports are at in that community makmalogi utiang ya olingi trar adrablu kita matngai community rigid sel wangar be edak ko so setability what am tirget what ang makmaloyak tiang ya wasi o kita matngai wasangar be edak tar segitiel el basyo mang akolingi trar rohul adrangar be edak wasi bol se edak report I get traffic me at the middle of the night and mlay no mlay dia ka do ngalil mlay so is al sila community dokol tokol edul wasang ani amlal me telaklok teidal alul sa daringira taregal shora yakmal mo ko ngayil ko Mr. President wasay adam kigrel bulol 20,000 people emal bato ka media outlets and that's good, that's information and is power and more adrabalo mabul si edal spare say gidil al opportunity sa desang ebol si edal report deng mal ngo sutrira already our police Lembase ray the reports and ilar police and los il conductor say gidian search warrant tel los iral executor ngi ratara oblila al sela valora orior mo ko mal masulang yagite Mr. President takwati se
just one comment kasi tel tora drugs is an effort that everybody has to be involved qadam sadra enforcement side of course the community side will help together enforcement. And then they are close to education. They encourage media. Let's talk to people. Let's interview doctors. Talk about the problems that meth causes in your life. I risk factors. I think more education. We need to reduce the demand. No matter the Maria flight real masoy belaw. Maria dial real masoy belaw. Radam ral mubtaqa wududir. And those are. When demand goes up, it means they have money to spend, and that's the case. We know accident. If you look at those convictions, 2022 was when there was a lot of WIOA money. I mean, I'm just sharing a realities that we live in. So we have to help people, educate them about those. What the choice you make, how it impacts your life, especially don't fry your brain. Your brain is too valuable. I mean, I'm not tell example as tiamal diwa mua ngai solar bebul angard idil sel mutial isolate tungir kaum. Let's help our young people understand the risk.
Kamal Mr. President aladik maltalite egid parents kid parents boda garki kran gal ke dal ngaktiregal le receive report al wasay tirgay dal lol travaigal ay sa dirigal target ra tikadingal high school elementary school kakida Mr. Ngiro dal sa matke elementary school al mule tolab la mystery so they can first get addicted number 2 in tamo dirigal lol ngasarti lol trauri Madamal kini dan mogorgi klang meral wagel ko Mr. President tiagel ngar leather rogoy sa adal wasen tokol belum gini dan makar rogoy protectorang alget mang pol sabi edel mrula gay outreach mak mo meet with the TL Division of Juvenile Justice Chief Sanya Olgaril. I know there's some camps coming up and tirakal together mo mrula say yel reach out and more youth why sertira yel dangers of using crystal methamphetamine ma marijuana. It kills brain cells. Thank you.
Maria مسؤول نقول.
Okay, report that.
Okay, هذا مرة. ماذا ده قد برا كير مانجر.
Malungil totawe Presidente ma Vice Merikla kora di Vice President na kora kung tol information gila la drugs ma statistics so ngwadi so kal ask a follow up question first Vice President mal makatatal dakadareng sa isla drugs direkal kamamal nga media silbibata may kimalas mo la information ma information mang direkal it's good to hear from you la sige kita statistics ra ato ko ra drugs kung mention was ngani ako movement away from the use of confidential informant mora search warrant tiangani ako ra impact ngira ay galil di sila cases la blood recheck ta AG?
Possibly di ka kate illegal mal mo kora ko makain mga dadura 18 mulwa say ngaramal ko kami sa statistics certificate mulwa say ngarang amle main reason why atamle decline at prosecute but madingel mulwa say the prosecution has kind of moved away from using the confidential informant el atabay kora rely information mo sabi logi why the search warrant tema MCC cases like just the background so the spera confidential informant tira ka so sometimes they might be kita recollection at tira events or sometimes it tira more inconsistent at talete long ado so because the spera confidential informant they actually need to testify le ngari alam el telengel no tutak الفيس رنجيدي الأعضاء الوايا تيرا قلتو تقرني so you can imagine لما confidential informant المرا قرتي and you have a very good a defense lawyer and the more قتي story the confidential informant المالموشوا كلول inconsistency rangi Miguel maybe some documents that they're producing. Say this way, but I will check with that Attorney General and mo si alo ay sa kami.
Okay. The couple more follow-ups. Kamle mention ra to ra search warrant tama customs importance ra radio customs stobaigal kitalgal meso swablu belarigal points of entry laring is recent international news and misadara adara Taiwan almlera airport tamle lora search and secondary search mangkwan mo yaklol mondara ku tiral sila bra Taiwan ya responder kita kora atim lakal sal mal clear ngara kora responder kal kiril si
akmle of islander sel tamme I defer it to the president for taking the incident
Godrole so of course customs ang Minister of Finance gida amal madinglo se gida amal swadar wala kamera okya gargid المرا بلور بلا and the last thing we want to do otisel wasendim la kadawala kamerti di gadiri kan madina sia unfortunately ngare adal uktire gal الميل ولا بايغان كيتكلالو من custom officers ngare protocol follow كده بعدين بدي اللي قدمنا travel سيل برا قوامه to raise their voice all over you're acting erratically. They keep the level of checking gets harder and harder. Maybe, unfortunately, innocent. Because a mannerism escalate the situation. Our custom officers are just doing what they're trained to do. Unfortunate. Maybe nervous. It happens. That's the reality. It happens. And of course, we apologize for any self-feeling and maybe feel she was violated. They were doing it protocols you're not doing enough. You're doing too much. So they're caught in a hard place. But we know that part of the problem they bring in this stuff their bodies. And it's happened multiple times. So we have to be cognizant of that and try to do what we can and make sure safe understand their frustration and get a feeling. The other customs have to do their job. And most importantly, let's treat each other with respect. They're not out to catch you. They're out to just do their job to make sure that we're all safe. Yeah.
The last question will follow up by may group sa colleagues to their own questions. Sadra President kami submit the budget third supplemental budget al mura ulbil Vice President ang mularing egel batokol issues ra last year melalil gire la tokora bla police le require budget again funded fully من سبب هذا القطمق للو بنغني ببيني لو سيسبتال بس supplemental budget تكلو تلقى clarify maybe a little bit more detail so Axel atara ablagim ng siya say tigal chiefs regal divisions tara challenge el facing iya dakalo ngel mungara budget tatti regal operations tir mang wal ko hamper effective implementation tiang true statement tal ubang niya kagi dali relevant to make sure that segal funds are fully implemented el legal close
amal masal tilamra lungil al question of lam raising in and I'll be very honest tamral logspe anges on mom dinga budget they're police officers first. They don't do accounting. They don't mangirel ngaringel administrative officer, a Bureau of Public Safety, to actually sit down with them and make sure that the mo understand the budget they're so that's happening. Tamla mo sabihin itong okal at ado but malmasala president mar ado olbira karolam le increase sa budget tumang selblo ol dalang ngaringil was able to hire more police officers. We're going to be able to do that na lang lamor niya sufficient funding. Dire kal maklo already police dire kal marulay kagi dele sila ngaringar okya karigi del may ngaringar maral mo to ka event sergid because gida tourism based the economy gid the dire kal uspe ertil gora provider say the security mang tegi do del me dire kal mo el ko cover egel overtime that they'll be working almo subil provider say the security and safety but yes I hope hindi kalingas arendir tirakal chiefs hindi tamralos pe ang asew to go through their budget with their AOs mo matangalia wasintela budget tire how to be able to allocate it and muray ke lulus pe it and kalto makmarik munti kalingas arendir nga kakulkol way say because they're police officers nga kamaktirak maluspe ang seora adol kora to look through the budget kayong selo misring so but thankfully nga niya baleri isa kasing gigidi awayal kora tapal admin officer Bureau of Public Safety mgigida walong orior lo bantri alta.
Vice Kokora, multuta president, como vice president, claro. Kamne di bus tilgi mahal ko to kaya agel mergaw. So, galdir kartal isura drugs. Kamne mention raw wala alda amla siya kamno ni attend that trial town hall. So la ya issue raise at the drugs. Ang siya was describe la siyang ay gigil town hall ang te describe ra issue drugs ay community ti lalu to kwa issue concerns.
Usually at the show concerns. That's the sense I got. And the ngani ako timlak para state visit and they reach out to me na messenger. Al-masal that drug dealers in their community. Mlamo start los PRR students elementary level. Al-wayal kora ultra introduce el mortir. Mang sige di ako ramal mle alarming. So
and direcal kamne mention waseng ang mlarnya budget mang ang nganya ten other interested Asia malas mal hire ara de ko waseng
yes.
so the aim al hire tela.
I would need to ask her waseng maltela and think she did go off island and recruit is my understanding. I'm not very clear waseng tela sa lo mtasol mora criminal prosecution. As you know, at the AG's office ngani tiril ko ngara civil division, tiril ko ngara legal civil cases, ngani tiril ko ti advice sa agencies, o ko ngani tiril tiril ko ngara alira di do criminal prosecutions. So I'm sure at least into swalal malartiro, but I'll get that information for her and let you know.
Kumsulang vice President kamla mention ra tourism ngani awan article ra dirtilop ra last week ra CNA Asia el masad ra atial korong motat sa to ra tourist national merbelaw e wasi so ngani ngarbe edira kam kota ra businessman ngarbela wasi 95% ra okya kartira ra sina ito ko la bigit wasi tirga nga mall stop ang lamutul mo sa first after the start the mega recovery from the COVID-19 wasi ika ale musubit question wasi tirga nga because ang kamlak mo statemental GC statemental gela sinay jaliga sina
cyber security
matokara senkyo matokara kamto asi tokara concern lo asi tiakalel bolu ula sa sina ngal bol kasi barngul mulsto tourist mal tiay gidolom goro ringi ba ko start to realize ra tourist el mail bol metro ngara ko ra kami terkal gidal sige let tirga nga adira ka advocate lo asi insi bedel limon lo bangela at Taiwan, but let's build a closer economic ties with China.
Yeah, Gambes, kita hamdeng ase kita blue tourist, and we should welcome all tourists. Hindi kita dire kan madengel wase. If anything, al sumat ngare concern til wase. Mal dimo agel tokol mulgol wase weaponizing tourism. That's exactly what they're doing. Al sumung, if we have that fear, and we shouldn't have that fear. Wase. Unfortunately, that's by the confirmed belief rather Sina will play those games with us. El trial influence a policy. And it could be anything, whether time sever ties with Taiwan, and if you don't, we're going to cut it off. And they did that meeting Rapata. They showed that inauguration, but meeting Rapata. Rapata has nothing to do with China. And then they denied our entry. So it's unfortunate, but it's a reality. If anything, the Chinese tourists, you have to think about diversification, because this will be a continuous problem. And that's why we've been working so hard. I said we need to diversify. Ganun air nauru, melam namo air nauru direct from Brisbane and Merbelao. Namo elar manda mo 4 flights I get flight ng Taiwan, and we want to get more. Continue, one of the things in the Basyaban, remind that get the flights, direct flights from Japan. We need to restart the flights from Korea. We need to continue to work toward diversification, because we know in the past that almost 100,000 tourists in Rasina, and they pulled back to 50,000. It's been a game. And Monmojero and Tanamul, they're still the majority of Mergit. But if anything, I think they answered their own question. We need to be prepared. We need to diversify so that we're not vulnerable. But my statements and their statements, clear a policy rebellion has always been relations with Taiwan. We can have relations with you. Because they want us to denounce Taiwan. Ngira del mo understand the sayid. Igale threats and they're not the first ones. They've had them in before. Blacklist rebellion started back in 2016. I think 2016 I am no first while advertisement or anything illegal belar at Sablasina. Masyadri ka malmol. I got statement that recently I say hindi ka belang unsafe that's just as part of the grandstanding and maktaktarit.
Kumsole Presidente, comme mention el supplemental budget ng area funding request del MHHS. Como touch lo asen to spell hire our nurse at trigel recent graduate tra PCC that's say da hotel mera this week. Di ka understanding sera ko no medical graduation ra PCC temlani ar 14 el graduate tra 11 ra nursing. Di regal atiro da funding el mortir. Mang sera lo que lo asen temlet tra trigel el hire kadam le hire tir el arra ka duk el tay duk funding da ay mel hire artela.
Harak mum sa share.
Yes, I'm planning to graduate PCC last year. We weren't able to hire all of them. Some of them are choosing to go off island and Mora school. Others are choosing to go into other fields that are not nursing. But we did hire some of them on board, maybe half of them. And graduate looking target bringing them on board. So that's the So that's the supplemental request.
Process of budget unless there's a budget number allowing. So we may not even spend the money, like we're already halfway through the year, but their salary has to be budgeted for, not only this year, but next year. So the only thing. And there's other positions, I'll say public health, especially public health. Opening up a transition facility. Everything is set. We have all the equipment, we have everything. Now we just need people and requirements.
So those are my questions for now.
Follow up sa question wala ko tan sa wakla. Mention ra tel budget ra ospitali emlaringi senator sa milgola sa ulam dem lakal pasra budget ngani auto tra ospital el dirgam expended 1.10 million. Mil ko explain na sing
so el mamasagal budget ngani budget tragar tedi one lump sum ngani already allocated alagar dengi our salaries are so yes they may see that they sell tell PO or personal action amra budget they are certifying that to expense for the entire year. So they're correct. Maybe by October the money will not all be spent, but they need to give us the budget authority so we have the flexibility. Ruli sil gira ruli. Continue to get them continuing. So that budget number needs to be in there. So budget certified, we can hire the people and these people can continue to work. And October stop. So I think it's a budgeting thing. It's a trust thing. Trust say we're there. I get other level more. I'm sure there are other olbila. Ako ngel te dol la kara minister ay do sen de rula ureren. Sao do rula ureren le la di mol da la kariya. So let's understand the process and if there's money left over, great. Because that can be used next year. But a point I was saying, we have to have the budget authority so we spend it legally. Yeah.
The China thing about the cybersecurity attacks. Di kanganya mabira adra yalwasing manamo toka yagidle attempts el system belaw maikalle government systems belaw ngalora efforts ongoing lora try mitigate yagidle lora attacks ba cybersecurity belaw.
Oh, hindi am sulang kida ngatila bodra se last Monday server gidara customs migration ng airport. Actually, all system was attacked. Dangal tangat niya dim laka roor andit wal bla lockdown niya because it was a system that we were terminating the use and migrating to a new one and dim laka affect ra ureret. Di abay do dangalia I get getting cyber attacks they are not more regular part of the process and as we use more and more technology, we're going to be vulnerable to more and more cyber attacks. If anything, I'm help we have to upgrade our IT security. Encourage IT, cyber security. We need to hire more people and we need to invest in it. Probably we should have it in supplemental and beef up our cyber security. While you're talking about it, I mean, it's another thing that we have. But of course, they're part of the security and defense. They're obligated to help together. So the Defense Department help together. I say, other Australian assess. And trying to help us identify and strengthen our security. We're getting a lot of outside help to get expertise, but you bring up an important point. They're going to build our local capacity. They expect other outside help may help defend. I got to a time.
Follow up I wonder, being in the field myself, I wonder lagi siyang almal liyang asile elaga na nalis sa adlurior sa dikalgot liyang mong siya hindi ako kaplan sa asile mo mislisi ay gila skills na current workers ma adlurior nga mental motivable safer ito ko.
So kumara say I got last attack sa Minister of Finance part of the trainer trial and make sure, especially emails and open, mga model, where they come from. Tadi open ang email. You may make them vulnerable. The other thing is isolate systems. Also, sensitive servers. Tadi morul di workstation and ukti morul again di mga internet ang mixer wa email same server and sel. So those are efforts that are happening. Hindi kada public education, but most importantly, tigal lower government, they need to be aware and they need to be careful. And of course, they need to take their job seriously and not be the reason why systems are attacked. I know they may be innocent. We assume that was innocent. They need to be diligent. Mal al mongilo mesa igal loru ma igalo meso iso I mean, there's all kinds of scams and everything out there, so you have to read your emails, know what you're dealing with. USB, all of those things to just keep us safe. So, sulang naman yung question. Oh, yeah, kabo ulit.
Tutawe, President, it's good to be back. Just simple follow-up. Kamle mention il-girel sel 600,000 help il-moral businesses affected during the COVID, and you said over $1 million is needed for the penalties and interest. NDP mlagut makliaw though, as you said, mo ed up per se as soon as ang pasa supplemental budget ang most of illegal businesses will collect.
The businesses wouldn't be collecting. I got more reduce I got bill NDP.
All right.
So basically, what we're doing, government is paying down their loans. More reduce I got bill seal.
Material 600,000 adimal maltal mora
NDP. Exactly. I get buying a swingila. I get WIOA. I get buying mora pocketing. The tiang amal di mo help partir reduce I get loan or tir, and help partir mong sell during the time, for example, Tulu Erte 2 years al Erte tir, but they were still having to pay interest. So proposal was 75%. 75% is interest on all of those.
And you said 54 businesses in total.
I see.
All right. Thank you.
54, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm so long. I think I'm not clear. Next question, Mora Vice President. Takti follow up al-girel sel packet sel Melsada Tora drugs, and it was on its way to Palau. 207 point something grams, I think. It was on its way to Palau. Malusra article ringira for yesterday's news edition. We were able to get some comments from authorities who said without connection, but since the package was addressed to adal ngara belaw plans, what's the standard procedure? We look into it. Do we investigate the person here, or the discretion? So if no connection, not going to touch it.
Okay, ma'am, salam Mr. Dal sa malungil. Tila sanle intercepted in is it Manila?
Manila.
Oh, I would need to specifically ask for the information. Let me just say was it til ay di amal the man no maknital girel ngeradir Taiwan. Di say gidia ulo mangirel nga niya way gagiduluriol nga border gid. Lang girel mom sisi already borders emang masel belsi sabing giredal make sure belsi. But thank you for that. I'm going to specifically ask if they're kind of following up per se gel adresi. But we've seen this before previously. As you know, mlaria package and mlaria post office and mlaria Catholic mission. So I gagid ya oil the receiving mora ngaring tirigel wayal al so I'm suring with that information ang area rior al mararing hindi ko tiyak dirga kabodo tinga because it's something that they need to be able to investigate al partra transnational crime. And then they actually disclose it at this time.
And may I just add, I think one of the things we have more coordination with the agencies in of course, US agencies, Taiwan, and as that coordination gets better, we share intelligence, and hopefully help the prevention side doesn't get here. So that's something that we're working on. Mga sulit tigal partners sige tigal say.
Malmasala Mr. President am Larissa say makmla remember. Yes mga niya FBI langat tiar ila L'Oreal Lawangila Division of Transnational Crime. So they usually are here for like 3 to 6 months and then in niya next May. So we're doing capacity training and the reason why that's important investigative techniques katiyak police hindi ang sabi elol nga sewal korawal enhance the way that they conduct investigations as well. Michael connections. Mga giusi at maldirang loreng asulela Taiwan government telling we have a treaty called the Mutual Legal Assistance on Criminal Matters. Matamal loreng asulela olbira kalulam lo subi irel passer segi the resolution. Base treaty mang mlokiri lo malara kanyera olbira kalulaw. Sekme dalwa relela Interpol. Hindi ngoldungongil ng Taiwan mang dal access sa database tiril ko kami sang clearar. Mr. President, Mr. Kalog yung tingi diri kalolita at olbi kalolaw bolo Mr. Visa requirement. Selamen sa damo sa tirakatarwat ala dengan rato memorur al sila valor belaw leng because at selamig tirakal turiste we need to have this connection with ay del wat Taiwan ma Interpol men sa edal rana ang clear ko rat check informational girirmang we're very thankful or say I think that's part of the coordinated border management they got check amata selbe the come through what I think about the Saura airport.
Yeah. So one of the projects of course la customs sel biometric scan mela sel beda tueng tamalar sel siasing ergin this actually check egal facial features ergin namos il check run again mara other databases el check la sengang criminal and sel ultima sel malsad al momruria taigel mara Interpol of course Taiwan ada part Interpol mudir tal mara Taiwan mamrigel elengire de military sel prevention side dira kalungil education about public bolo dengem tanon chaige through the media matigela dira kalom demet degal me because they're not welcome so I got part adoru lendi akti share saying waiting other FBI ngartia sel advantage tira they've worked in the region so that's work in the region and tira ngari connection thing ara uriping ara all over Asia and that's the purpose of them that they're trying to build that intelligence network ngari help share and combat crime collectively and they said Palava itself cannot among our partners of course they said the close our border get rid of the ships and the planes we've got to be smarter use our resources and try to protect the borders but use the new technology to help us mar tigal salida sula Emanex mahal musulan me
last question with regards to more cybersecurity. So most when we talk about cybersecurity, am I on? Anna, okay. Coming. So the cybersecurity seldomes ang wa di mo sa other cell security government entities. Kamsa wa finance sama customs sama yel di domes blue belar ilangi ya consider mula sing angara 90% other belawa ading ara dingwa mang ayel al batol el technology domes ilang ay del wa hacking ma petpadengela scams coming through ngani andi ka ko das will expand the security malumang education mora aranglela blue belaw ila ka domes ra tokol maasa maruba ka marangal ngarating wal dia ka control I mean education dia ka ko das will expand the national security system mo kukomes ra how to protect our citizens from the cyber
so I think we will last mostly education nilang It comes down to the user. Protect your passwords, all of these things. A hack on anybody, businesses. Uktisa the movie from the government side that trial protect the PNGC, the gateway. The still legal email mga takal black legal each individual, especially phishing and malware. That's how they get to you. So that's why I'm close to tell every user should be aware. Even WhatsApp, mga attachments to Banggel, Messenger, mga attachments to Banggel. You have to be careful, attachments. Wala kang modeng, wala kang open. I mean, maybe time kadamal, singa nakal. Kadamal ko la, so adal ko di. So truloy, mga malore dal open, kadamal kaya lore dal open. I guess as an individual and the crush the one team tool oitik malubat the reboot ring. It's not as critical, but assume you have your financial records. That's dangerous. So you have to be aware. Sulang ako get a question and maybe nga giran mo niya ako na ito kayo kala sure ako si sa akla mga na kita pa yung will topic. No. But public education, maral ko tutulad. So sulang. Let's come up with programs that will help para.
Close minister.
Public safety.
Oh, okay. And like online safety.
Yeah. So let's come up with something.
Close minister, President Malikas ka mga question na minister Mafe. Minister Victor ang Mauriotele Mrula American Gol Taror o ngarang ko amal beto kan maasan la mukla ba sersi.
Mal sulang ele di pulungit la se bok find out teleng lastro ko do tira tulsiga kan tractores release el dengi mong di bok find out la set tam tigra adem of course ang anita process ra procurement ya all mal me of them they're working on it and it's a matter of time also
Gomeng the last the general question I know kapsinging temela oriorem America igal state visits ang rakura major concerns rather kukawa Mr. President going around Palau na morang ayang lalme yalkura
walang interesting kakaro sa itself bulo I think baby rablo oger for example tax is a topic that people have baby rablo klo omso de la 7-star no le 7-star 7-star sel hotel namo masel mo 7 sila gibo nga alam namo North Star but anyway sa da tora ser some adriel question Tora school we've had housing is a big topic so and we explain for example Saudi loan well not all bill we're trying to get that through USDA ang program USDA partner firma Palau housing and that really opens up a lot of funds for Palau but not only that USDA for so many years ngel director na rebelor sila bolser and dimla replacing so now tamla kongel mo replacing so that's going to help us a lot hopefully increase our accessibility the approval ading rebelor minister Matura kongel was a civic center as in was spending like 2 or 3 times a week more office hours at marada mo easily accessible sa embassy as you know USDA office ang sa embassy inaccessible so those are things that we're doing trial help persel capacity mo masabril well and let me share just one more thing ang narashel supplemental kita lepto kalon al dangay one there's the 15 million lang dingilol girela Palau housing ande kal Palau Selmra NDPP maigal housing loans. Aige interest ring am lamo matatara 6%. We'll say la national government, so we're paying it. But then there was other loans amra pala housing. Ma NDPP dirigal through aige the Taiwan loans el lamo 6%. So one of the things that's in the supplemental is to help pala housing with another 262,000 pay. We're now paying their loan payments el dirigal el trial helper tirmung, so they have money to continue to give out loans. Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. Oh, sell other one. A PUC mrur imra state visit tirindi adirigi moraleng. Tiawadi warden ma franga blon ngayang le tamal mot mautel gamamra PPUC dim lagadra PPUC lo mong gamam makplom la sem le answer. And of course PPUC and PNCC are there's questions about those, but and of course kada supplemental budget, and when do they get the funds? So Minister Amnoisa said they're going to try to get those out before the end of the month. And togiro sing malmol intention ikagirel malmol. That's why we've done them, and really the overall goal that I got it's been a year. Kada mleswadan make sure was the collector although the goso. And I think the most important thing, there's two major things that people, when it comes to tax reform, they don't understand. One, tax reform was a requirement of the loan that we got from ADB, the $100 million loan. Kadamre nga sule la present remosaw maolbira ko lular sel time el lemokte kala ulat tumlamlar telon kasi so we don't ever have to lay off our other government. So sel time la al proposing a PGST at 15%. Sila the tour office kada say, well, maybe still 15% tamalopting, let's bring it down to a level that's as close to what we're collecting under the old system. So that's why it was reduced to 10%. Estimated economists say it's probably going to raise prices on average 2%. I see. So akti share telling akles sharing ira ngaralong ari aruba kan along lulger la question na say malaigal al Mossad the raise the government employees ngari tax refund more 15,000 below akamam lo criteria sa makara ikamam lang osura 10% ra aududam makmal ngaruba ka example sa $300 sa gulari makam lang osura $2 amandra aududa maklo explain mo say malwaisel ngari $2 sel cedro sa gero kul moit mga 10% rim cedro sa mga sra $2. However, in the past, you were paying tax and hindi na kamesa through import tax and through GRT. Economists tamlo estimate sell average across all people, whether it's in the power bill, it's in the water bill, it's in the food that you buy, restaurant, wherever you buy that. So it's even worse under the old system. Was about 8%. So before, I said $24 raman, amra tax. When we replaced it with the new system, he's now paying $30 a month. I say, or contributing $30 to the tax base. That's an additional $6 a month or $72 a year. So that's why, because of an additional tax that we have, tax. And one of the reasons why we were able to reduce from 15 to 10 our business profit tax, which we collected over $3 million in the first 6 months of this year. Now $480. So yes, minus 72, hindi lang plus 408. I say, just like every other worker that earned less than $30,000, they get something back. Tax system should be fair, equitable, and they should lift the lowest up. better mamal higher pay the government, we didn't get anything, and that's fine. It should be that way. Tax systems should help the ones that need it most. And if anything, they should be positive and more kita ar other belo. The other thing, of course, that was revised was the $200 child subsidy, make it easier. But everybody gets that one, except Vice President na naman nakangagil below 18. Nga nga ma-qualify na. The idea is to help the children. Say, Klom, so that I got state visits. Sulang ra question, and I think a lot of times we need to help explain. A goal has always been, and was we know waseng maring lada lang okla. Nga regel di kata control. Unfortunately, we didn't control COVID. When COVID caused shortages at Ablulat, it raised prices. Celebrity mga mother Ukraine, Putin raised prices. Fuel, wheat. Wheat is one of the main ingredients at Rogul. Grain is big. And Ukraine is one of the biggest producers in the world. But the other one, sometimes we forget about, is climate change. Climate change is impacting all kinds of things. Everything from companies wanting to be more green, mas wasmen taman na mas aral because of the production, wasmen tam na mas because of compliance with climate change issues or reducing greenhouse gases. But the other one, droughts. Example, California. Rice production was cut in half because drought in California. So anyway, kung porang artel adra wa TMC mangarang so buto ko masada to ko mangari masada alwase tial PGST alwasa prices by 30%. That's not true. And so we should always use facts. The fact is, on average, 2 to 3%. But unfortunately, Putin, other Ukraine, and I just want to share one more thing. Example, Vice President. I think the best example of sharing a Vice President to tax reform of the Boralsen, not a PPEF. Why say? A PPEF, $100, everybody pays. Then what happens? Only Palauans get the refund. Their tax reform basically is structured that way. Everybody pays, and especially now we collect more from tourists, but now we give it back on more other better. So, I think it's important that we share the correct information and help people understand what the goals are. But like in anything, we need to use experts to make best and informed decisions. We have to get sulang around questions. Lastly, of course, since July 10th, mga riyato ko bet sa silsir tira al sils mga mga asuli public servants mal blakan ni lorol girela gira de rogur apek sils mga riyato tewar al sils el sadro happy burdel mortir Renalda baltaw nga aurora officer git okay where's the cake naging lagi ng arte mo da celebrate lo manggel mada ngira mawai ngara food service program ara MOE matkak la makreos ngara ministry ngara Brian ngara MPII ma last Dilcott Williams ngara yes ngara ancillary services ngara hospital normal mga asule happy birthday el mortir of course happy birthday mora arbek lu kanya tanjo birthday al week la Dios another year of life. Dios klangal tangat telingam sa lo adra bekal sils maulan said live free. You know, I always appreciate our freedom and opportunity kera agot klabo le got truil blur al sablula. So olgoril I hope sel hombre gande adim kira Taiwan ka merbela ka espero ko.
Before you close, I think what is yung kasana nga ang antira Marcy Olgaril, ang Christine Olgaril, nalakwa may visit.
Sulang and welcome. All right. Okay.
Okay.